Salute, salute, man. Salute to the internal indigenous spiritual most high. Trolls, only God and your mama can love you. And last but not least, one time, yeah. Hey, I always got to give that salute and rest in power to, you know, Jimmy McNair, brother in the cut, Beaver. May he rest in power. Here we go, here we go. Where's me go? I needs me shillings so I control. There's lots of trolling to do. And I feel like we're being trolled too, just, combing the confines of this whole Nolan Wells case and looking for the truth because things keep taking a turn every time it seems like we're getting close. Things take a turn. It's almost crazy in a way. I've never seen friends behave like this. I've never seen friends move like this in the midst of losing someone that they claim they love as a brother. They've been moving suspicious. Everyone in the whole state, the whole county, has been moving very suspiciously, ladies and gentlemen. Very suspiciously. And it's almost like everyone's tied in together on making sure that this doesn't get the exposure that it deserves to get. It's almost like they're mad because they have to answer to a black attorney about a black death and they feel like they're too superior for that. It shouldn't matter. They're used to just sweeping it up under the rug, ladies and gentlemen. At least in my opinion, that's what it seems like. And that's what it feels like as well. That's definitely what it seems like. It's almost at this point, they feel like, who are we to have to answer to y'all? And we've got away with this for years. We've gotten away with this type of behavior for years, and y'all want to come and check us now. So it's almost like they're in disbelief that this is happening in today's time. But one way or the other, they're going to have to come out and tell the truth. They're going to have to come out and tell the truth. Someone knows something, someone's seen something, and with the $175,000 up and everybody getting this close, someone is definitely going to say something. Someone is definitely going to say something. And we're getting close. Now, I get the feeling that Warren may know something, but I don't think Warren had anything to do with it. I get the feeling that Javon doesn't know anything. I'm not there with Trasting yet, although they were there on different boats. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. But Wyatt, Bart Simpson, whoever this Will guy is, Wilson, it's a little suspicious. The fact that they all had changed clothes. The swimming trunks they had on when they all took a picture with Nolan did not match the swimming trunks anyone had on that vote and that vote, the video and the photo they released of them getting assistance in towing when Bart was towing them. None of that matched. None of that matched. That's very suspicious, and a lot of those guys didn't even look like the same guys, to be honest. Didn't look like the same guys. We know that the GPS data, some was erased off of Bart's boat. We know that some was manipulated, that there was wave markers that was, it's a lot, ladies and gentlemen. I haven't saw one of these guys even put up, rest in peace Nolan on their social media or even have a picture of damn Nolan on a t-shirt. You know, I haven't, usually in the black community when we lose someone we love, the first thing we're gonna do, we're definitely gonna hashtag them, on social media. We're gonna post pictures, and we're also going to adorn shirts. We're gonna have shirts. When you really love someone and you lose someone in the black community, we're definitely putting them on a shirt. Definitely. Definitely. So I hadn't even saw this out of them. I haven't even saw this out of them. So this is definitely, and then the fact that they released the autopsy results, what, like a day or so after Ben Crump's update on the three cases alone of Tyler Smith, Daniel Irvin, and Nolan Wells. And now they're sealed and it's been sent to a grand jury. But I thought that he was drunk and he drowned. So if he was drunk and he drowned, why would you need to send those results to a grand jury? You had no phones, no nothing. You said time and time again the reception was bad, you know, but you guys made calls to CETO. I'm just not understanding it. I'm not understanding it. I'm not. Let's get into some things because there's an eyewitness that has come out, and Tisa tells his covenant. There is an eyewitness that has come out. Tisa tells his covenant. Eyewitness says Nolan vanished after friends' boats left. This it's getting crazy. And there's a lady by the name of Caitlin Britchard, or something like that, who has come out and said that she was with Katie, and their boat was basically anchored right beside Nolan's damn boat. And she said they left around maybe 7:30, and she didn't see Nolan. She didn't see Nolan. So that alone is fishy, ladies and gentlemen. It gives off bad vibes. Bad vibes. Oh, well,
Hey
hold
guys,
on.
listen,
Well,
there is a
hold
new
on.
update in the
I wasn't all the way prepared. It happens sometimes. It happens from time to time. I think I'm ready now.
Nolan Wells case, and this one is actually really shocking, okay? And I'm going to ask you to forget everything you knew because I believe we are on siege of misinformation. I also believe that misinformation actually came from official authorities and not YouTube yappers and TikTok yackers as they like us to believe. Okay, so where do I start? Okay, now. First of all, we have to do a disclaimer. Please don't send hate, don't harass, don't do anything. Of course, right? It's funny to me the investigation they haven't.
And you notice how we're steady saying, don't send this, don't act out on hate. They're actually reversing this like they're being harassed. They're reversing this like they're being profiled. They're reversing this. They're lawyering up, they're filing lawsuits. They're combing social media. They're not combing through evidence to find out what happened to Nolan. They're combing social media so they can sue people that's talking bad about them and their children. But yet these are the same people that's, out here suing Ben Crump and giving bad reviews to Christina, Wansley, Nolan's mother, on her job, online. Just bad reviews, attacking her, hate mail, death threats, all of this stuff. But we're supposed to feel sorry when it's them. It's okay for them to do it to us, but we're not supposed to do it back. They don't understand, man. This is that 2026 energy, man. This is that we tired energy, man. You know what I mean? This is that fatigue energy, man. This is that we ain't gonna sit around and take this sugar honey iced tea energy no more, man. None of this goes as far as it did had Nolan just came back. None of this goes as far as it did had everyone not opted to lie. No one goes as far as this. You know what I mean? If everyone just treated everyone humane. Be honest. If you really love someone as a friend, treat them like a friend. Wouldn't you want justice for a friend? Would you leave a friend on an island? Would you keep a friend's personal possessions? Would you deactivate your account? Would you not go to the local authorities and tell them everything you know? Would you not inform the parents of his last whereabouts? All these friends and no one saw Nolan, and now they're giving different accounts. Now it's switched from 3 o'clock and no one had their phone, how the hell did you know it was 3 o'clock? But now it switched from 3 o'clock to about maybe 6 p.m. So it's like they're changing their story to fit every bit of breaking news that comes out. It's like they're changing their story, and no one's noticing. You know what I'm saying? No one's noticing.
One person has been threatening Nolan's mom, but a second person has been arrested for saying something about Judge Ashley Cole.
And then we got a clown in here talking about who's threatening y'all. Man, listen. You know how y'all move, and you might be one of them, partner. You might be one of them, and you're violating by writing all caps in here. So if you do it again, you definitely out of here. And that's not a threat, that's a promise.
Of course, they live across the country, and of course, they have mental issues, it seems like, but at least she is safe, and I hope she continues to be safe so she can see her son held accountable for whatever role he played in Nolan's disappearance. Like Ben Crump said, if it's none, you ain't got nothing to worry about. But if it's something, yeah. Anyway, right? So that's happening, all right? There have been people that have come through and actually, so forget what you know, okay? Everybody's back on the table. The only person who seems to actually be making way is Katie. You guys know Katie is like this with Nolan's family. I do not know if Katie is Warren's girlfriend or just BFF, but the family said they love her, they trust her.
And I think Katie's being very open and very genuine too. Nothing about Katie has created suspicion with me. You know, we can go into the narrative, oh, it's a white girl and it's a black guy, and now we can use the motive that, some angry, jealous white guy did not want to see, this young, beautiful, vibrant little young lady with, a black man over all these other available white guys over. We can use that argument. It's probably at least 90% true, but we don't know. But did I say it's at least like 90% true? I hear about 95% true in today's time. It's more like 95% true, But I think Katie's being very genuine. Katie checks out. Even Nolan's family has come out and said that Katie has been coming to different family events and stuff like that for years. I mean, so they're very familiar with Katie. If Katie knew, Katie would tell it. Katie said the last time she saw him, the guys were yelling, Nolan, come on, get the F on the boat, get the F on the boat. But yet, they're saying that that's all around 3 o'clock. And the boat didn't leave until around 4:30, so that's an hour and a half. That's an hour and a half. The mouth ain't mouthing.
They spend numerous family events together. Holidays, the gamut, right? On top of that, all right, it is said that Katie is the one that notified Nolan's mom to be on alert. Because notified Nolan's mom to be on alert is because when they told her, oh, he was just hugged up and I'm sure he's fine, that she called around and Katie was the one to tell Nolan's mom, what are you talking about? Literally, they were screaming on him for him to get on the boat, and he left me to get on the boat. Now, there have been photos that came out about Katie, okay? And they said they were from her Snapchat. Those photos have not been verified. And I'll be honest with you, everybody in Ocean County looks like they got blonde hair and the same color eyes.
Facts.
Everybody looks the same to me. Not the same person, but it looks the same. So if I don't know what I'm looking at, I don't know if that's Katie. I just know that it's...
Yeah, y'all can't say all black people look alike. I thought all Asian people looked alike and all Spanish people look alike. But everyone in Ocean Springs, all y'all look like y'all related, boy. It just looked like y'all mamas and daddies could be y'all aunties and uncles, too. I'm just saying, it's got to be some incest down there in Ocean Springs somewhere, because everybody look just alike. You know what I'm saying? Everybody look just alike, man. God, it's got to be some kind of incest down there.
Somebody with blonde hair, okay? So those photos have not been verified. However, someone else has actually come forward and they have submitted evidence to Nicole Everything on Instagram. Make sure you actually give her a follow. Now, keep in mind that I'll show you this. It has not been verified. It has not gone through. I do not know if authorities know about this. I do not know if Ben Crump knows about this. We do not even know. But this is what she is saying, and it is Caitlin Brocker. And Caitlin Brocker actually.
Okay, Caitlin Brocker. Brocker. Okay. My apologies for, mispronouncing the last name. But it ain't a normal last name. You know what I'm saying? I ain't used to saying all them crazy names. Brocker. Brocker. That's the first time I ever heard that. I'd have said Brochard. Brocker. I don't want to tell your name up, even though you tell my name up. Listen, man, these people are moving funny, man. These people are moving funny. These people are playing on our intelligence. They're playing with our common sense. All right? They're playing with our patience. They know what's going on. Hell, they know what's happened. It's like they summoned the clan to clean it up, and they did not think that a intelligent little guy by the name, intelligent little black guy by the name of Ben Crump was going to come around here snooping and drawing national attention from the black community either. So now they know that we're not going to back off of this. What are they going to do now? I wonder exactly what the evidence is. I wonder who's being charged. I wonder what the DA sent over to the district attorney. Because I don't think, watch, it has something to do with the underage drinking or something. Watch. I mean, I don't see why a medical examiner would do that and law enforcement could have done it, but I mean, it's going to be something stupid. It's not going to be anything that we need substantially to crack this case or to see people held accountable. And that's what's really ticking me off. You know, right now I'm looking for a few brothers. You know what I'm saying? I need at least 4 black men. You know what I'm saying? And we would like to invite, a white guy out, for a boating trip. You know what I'm saying? 4 black guys and a white guy, I'm looking for 4 brothers and 1 step brother, you know what I mean, if we could put it that way. We could all go out on a boating trip together. We're going to stay out all day. And we're going to show America what it looks like when everyone returns safely. We're going to show everyone what it looks like when everyone returns safely. Because good white folks that hang with good black folks, they care about each other. They love each other. You know what I mean? They're going to make sure that everyone is safe. They're going to make sure that everyone is sticking together. And they're also going to make sure that everyone returns. Because no one wants to deal with the wife of the guy who doesn't return. Y'all know how women could be now. But we ain't trying to get into that with no woman. So we're going to make sure, everybody is accounted for. Everyone is accounted for. And let that be a trend. Good white folks that grew up in the black community who really know of us for who we are. Start taking boat rides with your black friends and be the only white guy on the boat and show America what it looks like, when a white guy can go out on a boating trip and return. It's the world needs to see this. We've all been saying, had this been reversed, and had it been 3 black guys or 4 black guys and a white guy, everybody would have came back. True. We can say it. Let's show it. Let's show it. Real talk, let's show it. Because I know everyone's coming back. If 1 white guy goes out with 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 black guys, everyone's still coming back. Everyone's still coming back. And if someone doesn't come back, someone's gonna have a reason why. Someone's gonna say something. So that's how you know that this right here is almost, now the way they're handling this investigation is starting to look a little premeditated. It's starting to look a little premeditated. And we know the history. We know the history of Mississippi. We know the history of Mississippi.
He has pictures of the boats parked on Horn Island, or so she claims, okay? Nicole Everything reposted justice for Nolan Wells. Caitlin Brockert said, we were parked right next to them, and he was right next to them, right? Katie's boat that she was hanging out on. And Nolan was nowhere in sight when we left at 7:30 p.m. Now, everybody kind of left somewhere between 6:30, 7:30 p.m. Why? Because the sun actually went down at 7:54 in Ocean County, Mississippi, at Horn Island. I guess I checked with the National Weather Center. Okay. Now, why is this important? Because a few sleuths pointed out a few things. All right, let's look at this, and I took notes. So Katie didn't end up leaving until close to somewhere between 6:30 7:30. Now, Caitlin's thing, if this is true and she's telling the truth, okay, this is all based on hypothetical, right? Nolan was nowhere in sight.
Why are we still dealing with hypotheticals at this point in this investigation? 3 more days and it's been a whole month since this has happened. And we're still dealing with hypotheticals. We have no facts in this case. Almost 30 days later, there's been 2 autopsies, there's friends, there's an island full of people with boats, there's people taking videos and pictures and nothing. Nothing. But yet you have Ocean Springs that's working hard to cover everything up. Whatever it is, they're working hard to cover it up. We are seeing YT inferiority. I don't like saying supremacy. We are seeing YT inferiority take place. They have never had to answer to black people before. They have never been subject to having to answer to black people before. And they are taking offense to it. What, you mean we got to answer for this black life that we've taken when we're used to doing it and cleaning it up for years, for decades? How dare you come along now and try to change our system? And for those who don't know, I just took the liberty of going down, some of the history, in Mississippi. Numerous black deaths and civil rights era murders in Mississippi remain officially unsolved or unprosecuted, with prominent historical examples including Lamar Smith, Warless Jackson Sr., and Lewis Allen. Civil rights era unsolved unalivings. Lamar Smith, 1955, a 62-year-old black farmer and World War I veteran, was pew-pewed and unalived in broad daylight outside the courthouse in Brookhaven, Mississippi, after helping black voters register. No one was ever convicted. Okay? Warless Jackson Sr., 1967, a 36-year-old NAACP treasurer and civil rights leader in Natchez, Mississippi, was unalived with a bomb when a bomb exploded in his truck. The KKK Silver Dollar Group was suspected, but no charges were brought. Lewis Allen, 1964, a black logger in Liberty, Mississippi, who witnessed a state legislator unaliving a voting rights activist and intended to tell the truth to federal authorities, was ambushed and pew-pewed to death outside his home. His case remains unsolved. All right. Paul Leslie Gouillard, we're going to say Gouillard, Guihard, okay, 1962, a foreign journalist unalived during the voting riots surrounding the integration of the University of Mississippi. His pew-pew death was never solved. All right, suspicious modern and historical cases. Raynard Johnson, 2000, year 2000, y'all, a 17-year-old, I don't like saying African American, indigenous youth found hanging in the front yard of his home of Kokomo, Mississippi. Local authorities ruled it a SUICIDE, but civil rights groups and federal reviews questioned whether it was a racially motivated crime. Andre Jones, 1992, a young black college student found unalived in a Brandon, Mississippi jail cell under suspicious circumstances. His family long contended his death was covered up. Okay, and we know about Medgar Evers. We know about Emmett Till. Okay, let's add Trey Reed. Let's add Nolan Wells. And y'all are upset because this is starting to draw national attention. You thought that you were going to continue to do this? That this is going to continue to be the history of Mississippi? That we were just going to sit around and just let you continue to do what you're doing to us and not utter a word? And now you're upset because the black community is pissed? So now who's playing victim? Because we know that you are the victimizer. And now that the heat is on, you want to play victim. You want to be the victim. Ooh, it's all about me. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Don't mention their name. They have futures. You're going to get them hate mail. They're going to get death threats. But it's okay for y'all to do it to lawyers. It's okay for y'all to do it to black content creators. It's okay for y'all to do it to the parents of Nolan Wells while they're grieving the loss of their child. But you're doing it. But you're doing it. But you're doing it. The young lady that cleared the I'm gonna say the sound engineer, the audio engineer. All right, Jeanette Brantley. She's receiving death threats already. She's receiving death threats just because she cleaned up the audio and amplified the background. She is receiving hate mail. Her information has been doxxed, and she is receiving death threats. Hey, white people, do y'all care about that? Do y'all care that this sister's getting death threats, or y'all can give a damn? And most of y'all can give a damn, which explains to y'all in return why we can give a damn about y'all getting death threats or Nolan's friends getting death threats. We don't give a damn. Nolan's not here. He got death. They're only getting death threats. They're still here. Who gives a damn? We supposed to feel sorry when y'all don't feel sorry. We supposed to give a damn when y'all don't give a damn. We supposed to exemplify humanity, love, patience, resilience, and diversity and all this, and it goes in one ear and not the other with you guys. All you guys see is white. You don't even see right and wrong. You see white, whether white is wrong or right. That's all you see is white. You're gonna take the side of, hey, go ahead and drop a bomb on an all-girls school and unalive 170 plus girls, overseas. And you know what? White America is okay with that. It's not the fact that, hey, these was innocent little girls going to school and blah, 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 and they had their whole life ahead of them. No, they, hoorah, hoorah, America this, America that. And you wonder why the sun is heating up? Y'all go mess with a kid, the kid run back and tell, then you tell the kid to start playing victim. The kid was supposed to sit there and let you do what you did to him and not tell anyone? And now you're telling that the kid is playing victim? And y'all don't get mad at the person who did it to the kid. Y'all get mad at the kid for telling on them. That's crazy. That is completely diabolical. That is completely diabolical. It really is. That really speaks of a real wicked culture. That is diabolical. You do something to an animal, you get caught, you mad at the animal. They ain't mad at what you did for the animal. They walk around here with all these dogs, kissing dogs in the mouth, supposed to love animals, taking animals all in a restaurant. They shitting while you eating. Oh, they love animals, right? But the things they do to these animals, when no one's looking. And then they get mad and blame the animal. They don't get mad at the individual that did it to the animal. They blame the animal. Why did you let them do it, animal? They mad at the German Shepherd because the German Shepherd didn't know better to stop them. And that's the type of stuff we're seeing going on in Mississippi right now. They know this is savage. They know that this was read wrong. They know it. They know Nolan Wells got murked. They know who did it. They know what time. They know what it was about, but all of them chose to stay on code. All of them chose to stay on code, ladies and gentlemen. They chose to stay on code. The latest news I've heard, what's his name? Was it Sean Grayson, I want to say, something like that. The officer who unalived Sonia Massey, that was sentenced to prison time. Yeah, he was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer, and this boy was trying to get out of prison early because he's got stage 4 colon cancer. Fool, you took a life. Why would they let you out? Because you're losing your life. These people aren't used to being held accountable. They're used to privilege. They're used to entitlement. These people are not used being held accountable. They're not used to being prosecuted and persecuted for taking a black life. In their mind, a black life has absolutely no value. No value. No value. So they're not used to this, and they're getting pissed. While we are getting pissed awaiting results and waiting to hear something from these friends that we can use to bring justice and peace to Nolan Wells' disappearance, they're getting equally pissed because we keep prying, we keep asking questions, we keep making videos, we keep having live streams, we keep implicating friends. We're calling their names. We're looking at GPS markers. We're looking at information and documents and things like this. We're paying attention to the interviews that Officer Raccoon Tatum has been producing with his friends. You know, we're paying attention. And don't think for a minute that they're not listening to us. They're getting their information specifically from us. From us. Let's get back into this real quick.
Really,
this one ingredient dissolves baked on grease, kills mold, and cuts through soap scum.
inconvenient. And by inconvenient, I mean, and let me zoom in on this picture for y'all so y'all can actually see it better, okay? Let's zoom in right here. Remember they said there was 9 feet of water? Nolan was chilling, everybody's having fun, the boats were parked right next to each other. Let me just say, isn't it really convenient, or some would say odd, like that, isn't it convenient that the last time anyone saw Nolan was when Warren and Wyatt and Bart left the island around 4:30 p.m. The second they left, Nolan vanished. If it was just as innocent as Nolan didn't want to leave with them, why wasn't he hanging out with Katie afterwards? Why didn't he go back? And why was Katie the one that said that literally, according to Warren, Nolan was cradling Katie, and then all Katie heard was them yelling, "Warren, get the F on the boat! Warren, get the F on the boat!" And Warren literally left her and ran to go get the F on the boat. And
See, there's so many questions. There's so many questions, and it's like every time one of them open their mouth and say something, we get more questions. Let's get the likes up, ladies and gentlemen, please. Can we please get the likes up? It's like every time we think we're on the brinks of getting some type of answer, it just leads to more questions. More and more questions, and they say stupid things. Stupid things. The island had no reception. But yet you called Cito. Oh, it was about 3 o'clock. How do you know when everybody left their phones on the boat? I mean, that's what you said. These are the things that you're saying. I love Nolan like a brother. You didn't go to his funeral. You were out eating on January 5th while they were searching for him. You hadn't even adorned a damn t-shirt with his face on it that say rest in peace. No nothing. No nothing. You got Brandon Tatum around here scrubbing audios and editing audios, protecting other people who were implicated in this, like a Will or a Wilson. They tried to protect Bart. Bart Evanston was implicated. We're going to call him Bart Simpson on here. Okay? We're going to call him Bart Simpson. Even Javon came out on his first exclusive interview with TMZ and said something to the degree of, you know, Nolan was my boy too, and it's messed up what happened to him, and I want to see him get justice too. Well, what happened to him? If y'all are saying that he drowned, I mean, why is this information being turned over to a grand jury? Can we trust the grand jury? Let me answer my own question. Hell no to the no, no, no. We can't trust no grand jury. We know what Mississippi does. That goes back to Emmett Till. We know what they do. That was an all-white jury of their peers who only took 1 hour to acquit two white guys who they knew took the life of Emmett Till. You know, Jay Stars, how you doing? How you doing, Jay Stars? You know, how you doing? So no, they don't want anyone snooping around Mississippi. Mississippi is used to doing what they want to do, when they want to do it, how they want to do it, and they're used to treating black people like sugar, honey, and iced tea. But see, they messed up this time because they thought black people were just going to dismiss this. They thought we were just going to go on about our business. You know, they didn't know that we could unify like this. They didn't know that we'll be still talking about this, 30 days later. They didn't know. They didn't know. They had no clue. They know now. They're going to learn today. And whether they like it or not, a white life, if not 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, or boatfuls, are going to pay for that one black life that was lost. We're going to see multiple white lives. We're going to see multiple white people and their stability be stripped from them. We're going to see them dressing out in jumpsuits, headed to prison, getting their heads shaved. We're talking about blue-collar people, y'all. Judges, lawyers, blue-collar people, plus his friends. Potential NFL draftees. We're going to see them go down. For the first time in Mississippi history, we're going to see white people held accountable. And it's not going to take 30 and 40 years to get that justice this time. It's not. And Mississippi is hating that. So to those in Mississippi, if I were you, I would be speaking among myself and my other peers, as y'all would call them. You know what I mean? Thank you, Sherry Walker. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, y'all. Let's put Sherry Walker in the chat. Let's put SW in the chat. Thank you so much. So now if I was y'all, I would hold like a little clan meeting or something, or meet at your local Moose Lodge or wherever y'all go line dancing and tripping over each other because you got two left feet. Yeah. Y'all need to go meet up somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Go to PetSmart, get a flea dip. You know what I'm saying? And while you're getting your flea dip and your nails clipped, you know what I'm saying, along with your German Shepherd, y'all need to talk about this type of stuff. Y'all just need to find out who y'all gonna throw under the bus. You don't want to see down there everybody on Horn Island go down for this. You know what I mean? But we gonna need at least 10 people. And y'all got to include that judge. Y'all got to include that medical examiner. Y'all got to include your sheriff. You got to include your governor. You know what I'm saying? So we want the DA. We want the medical examiner. We want the sheriff. We want the governor. Oh, yeah, you got to include them four. And then we're going to take some of Nolan's friends. You know what I mean? We're going to take some of Nolan's friends. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Now, I do salute Warren's father. Warren's father came out and added another $50,000 to the reward. Added another $50,000 to the reward for the justice of Nolan Wells. Bravo. That doesn't mean that your son isn't still implicated, though. You can't buy your way out of this. Or maybe Warren's father really don't know. Or maybe Warren really had nothing to do with it. But that doesn't mean that Warren doesn't know something. It doesn't mean that Warren doesn't know something. They already got money, $125,000 to that community, $175,000 to that community is nothing. That's chump change. In a black community, somebody would have snitched the day it said 100,000. To the white community, that's chump change, man. That's a couple dollars. Yeah, they definitely know it. J Stars, we know they know. And we know if the shoe was on the other foot, exactly, what they'd be doing to us in our community. But it's all right, though. If they don't get this right, hey, if they about to see America get, boy, it's going down. I'm telling you. Yeah, that's pocket change to them, man. 175,000, that's pocket change. They probably got that just laying around. That's pocket change to them. You know what I mean? That's pocket change. That ain't nothing. Now you offer that to somebody who comes from nothing, and they own it. You gonna know everything. You gonna know everything. Well, they can be sitting in the hood like a private eye. You know what I mean? They gonna tell you everything. They want that money so bad they done broke in your house and got some of your DNA. They know your account number, your routing number. Somebody will get that. Somebody will get that. I started laughing. 100,000. That's nothing. Exactly. Exactly. But I guess that's all a black life is worth. I guess that's all a black life is worth.
That's so funny that at everybody on Horn Island that we know of, not one person. Everybody said there were 200 to 300 people on the island. Forget that. There was one girl that was Nolan was cradling.
No,
That would have known whether her man was there. Man, best friend, I don't know what their relationship is. The thing is, they're tight. That is saying, yo, when you think about it, I saw that. I thought he left. No one. Warren's coach said that he saw him between 2 and 3:30, and Nolan's coach said he saw him somewhere between 2 and 3:30, and that he did not seem even a lick of drunk. And he was a Division I athlete that had an important tryout on Monday, something he wouldn't jeopardize. On top of that, right? Katie never said they were drinking, did she? On top of that, let's not forget that Warren and everybody else literally said there was an unidentified woman in the police report, didn't even want to give Katie's name, and when they did give a woman's name, she said that she hadn't seen Nolan in a year. Let's not forget that. If it wasn't an unidentified woman, you knew exactly who that was, but for some reason you didn't want to give the police Katie's name, because you knew that if the officers, and this is another thing that I don't understand how they're not wrapped with guilt, because had you actually given Katie's name, and I don't know why you guys didn't want to give Katie's name, wasn't a secret. Katie's not hiding. Katie actually volunteered the information and said.
And watch this. And see, that's why I said I think she stand up in this. But watch this, man. This is Let me get it back here. Let me get it back. Oh, I had a good point, man. I lost it. I'm gonna let her cook for a minute. I'll get it back.
No, that's not what happened. But had you given Katie's name, and the police had contacted everybody that Nolan was supposed to be left with, and the first person they would have called would have been Katie, Katie would have told them at 1:30 in the morning, no, I literally saw Nolan leave with them. He told me he was leaving with them. I saw him running. They were yelling, get the F on the boat. Why wouldn't I think he got the F on the boat? And after that, I did not see him for the rest of the day until I left somewhere between 6:30 and 7:30. If they had actually gotten her name, and they knew her name and they chose not to give it, Bart said he didn't know her, so fine. But Warren and Wyatt, definitely Warren, you knew her name, and you chose not to give it. You literally were that omission is one of the reasons why, or could have been why, they chose not to do a full on-set search. Let's not forget, in the report, they said that after talking to the friends, they're like, oh, he's probably just drunk, passed out. He was with the girl. But had they talked to the girl, he was.
And now they're talking about possible, substances in his body, possible substances. And we just know he wouldn't do it. Now there's been reports that, certain people in Nolan's group is known for doing it. And when it first came to a head, I thought maybe Nolan had saw someone doing something and they wanted his phone. I'm still at the same point. I think he saw something. They need to get rid of all witnesses. That's why they stripped his phone. That's why they unalived him. I mean, it only makes sense. Everyone's calling out time periods, but no one had their phone. They forget that they said that they left their phones on the boats. So how are y'all calling out all these specific times? How? Where did you guys change clothes at, and why? Because none of you have on the same swimming trunks leaving the island that you had on going to the island. We're not supposed to notice that? We're not supposed to notice that? This is crazy, y'all. This is crazy. This is crazy.
with, maybe they would have gone out and actually found him. The fact that they're not so guilty over that they didn't even care. Again, I don't know what they felt inside. I'm looking at their actions from the outside looking in. And if my friends did that,
Yeah, Keyshawn Davis didn't want to fight him. I ain't gonna say he ducked him. He didn't want to fight him. They might be friends or something. There might be some kind of mutual respect between them. You know what I mean? He didn't want to fight him. I ain't gonna say he ducked him. He didn't want to fight him.
to me, maybe I would say they didn't care. But let's get back into it. Let's look at the way all of their stories line up with last time we saw him was 3 p.m. If nobody had their phones, if everybody was drinking, and if you guys didn't have your phones around you, how would you know that you saw him last at 3 p.m.? Why does everybody know that you saw it last around 3 p.m.? Again, you look at Katie. We don't know who's lying, but Katie seems like she's telling the truth. Because what did she say? When's the last time you saw Nolan, right? Sorry if I...
Hey, well, first off, you ain't black, and I don't use that type of language on here. If I was you, I'd get right. Because I'm definitely about to get your time wrong. You just got my time wrong. You not black. Don't cosplay us and don't put that shit on my damn screen. I don't tolerate that N-word here. You know exactly what ninja stand for. You know how y'all use it, and you definitely not black. We gonna start checking this, man. Black family, we gotta start checking this right here. Right here, we gotta start checking this, man. Right here. Right here. Leave them leaking the hell up out of here, man.
Mixing up Warren and Nolan. Let me slow down, right? When's the last time you saw Nolan? What did she say? The last time I saw him was when his friends were yelling, "Get the F on the boat," right? One, why does it seem truthful? Because when nobody has their phone and you don't have a watch, the way you tie events is the things that happen. Katie did not have her phone. Katie wouldn't know what time it was. Katie just knows the last time she saw him is when they were yelling, "Nolan, get the F on the boat." Now, I do not know why they would yell, "Warren, get the F on the boat" at 4:30. No, at 3 o'clock, and then leave an hour and a half later, especially if they were sinking.
Exactly.
But did you see how that rings more true?
And with the boat sinking, they ran like an hour and 13 minutes longer on a boat that was supposed to have been having problems. I would have wanted to get that boat out of the water right away. Right away. If it was really an emergency. I think the whole Cito phone call was just an alibi. It was to establish an alibi. That's all it was. They had already had help. Bart was there getting ready to tow you. So why did you need Cito? Why did you need Cito? If Bart was already there and people took pictures of Bart towing you for at least 3 miles, then why did you make the Cito phone call? Right, it wasn't that much of an emergency. They just needed an alibi. They had already disposed of Nolan's body by the time they left that island. I'm telling you. They had already disposed of his body or handed it off to someone.
Then a bunch of boys on a boat. None of them were in the water. None of them had their phone on them. They didn't leave until 4:30. Remember they said everybody's phone stayed on the boat?
See?
So you got a bunch of boys in the water enjoying Horn Island and without a watch, unless they know how to read the sun, without a watch, without a sundial, without anything. Y'all all know that it was 3 p.m., but I thought nobody had their phone. I thought they were on the boat.
Oh, no, he left that island. He left that island. He was on that boat. They unalived him. He was on that boat. In the audio, you can hear them saying it. He was on that boat. If you play that Cito audio, and she's come out and released another 5 minutes worth of that Cito audio. And you know what? I don't know if I have that one here. I'm gonna see if I can pull that up real quick. It went from like the first 30 something seconds. She's got like another 5 minutes and 7 seconds of it done. And this is Jeanette Brantley. I want to see if I can find it. Janetta Brantley, excuse me. Janetta Brantley. I know who has the audio. I don't know why she wouldn't have it on her page. I don't know why she wouldn't be posting this to her very own page, but I know where to go to find it. Give me a second. Maybe I gotta look at it that way. Let's get in here. Get this thing. Let's get in here and get it. Get in here and get it. Get in here and get it. I think this is it right here. This is it right here.
With this. So at the point, whenever there is silence, that's when it's
I don't know the phone number. It's either, I think it's, try that. I know we have a membership, like guaranteed.
He left
I
the
don't have the
island.
tag on here. He got ripped off.
Somebody else for Warren. So we know Warren's on the boat. We know Bart's on the boat.
And for something this serious, I wanted my processing to remain as conservative as possible. You'll also notice time code and dialogue written on the side of the screen and pop up during each segment. That dialogue represents what I personally hear as an audio engineer while processing.
We know it's something going on. That audio alone was damning. And you know, that's what I was gonna say earlier. Have you noticed that none of the guys have come out and said that that audio is fake? None of them has challenged it. None of them have challenged the validity of what we hear in the background of that audio. No one. Absolutely none of his friends. None of them. If y'all have heard someone come out and say, hey, we never said that, let me know. But I haven't heard any one of them come out and challenge the validity of this audio yet. None of them. None of them. So you can't tell me that this is fake. You can't tell me that this is fake. None of them have come out and challenged it. But they want to sue people, right? They say people are making them look guilty, ruining their careers, and they're getting hate mail. I mean, what did y'all do to Nolan's life? Evidently, this implicates y'all know exactly what happened to Nolan. This implicates that y'all did not leave Nolan on no damn island. This implicates that the last time y'all saw Nolan was not at 3 p.m. It was around 4 something when one of you, if not more than you, allegedly unalived him. Cause damn it, Bart sure sounds like Bart did something to me he shouldn't have done. You know what I mean? That's what it sounds like to me. So we've already got y'all caught up in how many lies? In how many lies? Katie's come out and debunked at least 2 or 3 of your lies already. So why don't somebody just come clean, man? Just come clean. For once, yes, in Mississippi, and it's not going to take 30 and 40 years to get convictions this time, but for once, right away, our way, just like Burger King now, we're going to see white people get held accountable for black lives and for their bullshit lies, man. And it feels good, y'all. It feels good. Let the system, let their very own system put their asses on notice. Y'all gonna learn how to act one way or the other. Y'all gonna learn how to keep your hands off people, whether you're doing time in prison or you're sleeping eternally in the graveyard. Pick your poison, but there's a lesson to learn regardless.
and repeatedly reviewing these sections. I'm pretty much providing it as a listening reference, not as a declaration that my interpretation is the only possible interpretation. And that's important. I want you to listen for yourself, use headphones if you have them, listen closely, and decide with your own ears what you believe is being said. You can also return to the original unprocessed recording and compare directly with what you're hearing here. You'll also notice that my time code may not match the regular timestamp on the original uploaded video.
Let's get the lights up, ladies and gentlemen. Please and thank you. Please and thank you. And I hope if you're new to the platform, you're definitely hitting that subscribe button. I hope you're definitely hitting that subscribe button.
And that's because I'm working inside a professional post-production timeline, a digital audio workstation, basically using simply time code, which in film, that's displayed in hours, minutes, seconds, and frames. Film and TV timelines are completely different from timestamps that you see when you're watching regular videos or when you're watching a movie and you hit pause. So basically the time code on the screen is there to identify the precise location within my working session, not to represent the elapsed timestamp displayed by the original video player. And I hope that makes sense.
Listen, this sister genius. They called this sister out on the news and said that it's doctored and she's this and she's that. That sister didn't say nothing. She went live and cleaned up another 5 minutes and 7 seconds of it in front of the whole entire world. She showed everyone the way she did it. She showed everyone. She didn't come out and say, y'all got me effed up, blah, blah, blah. That sister remained quiet. She turned on her camera. She went live. She uploaded that CTO phone call, the original phone call, not the audio she had already cleaned up. And that sister went to work clicking, click, 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 click. This, I'm telling you. Drill Sergeant, what's good? What's good? So this sister is who she says she is. And I don't see how this audio is not a direct piece of evidence for Ben Crump's team, man. I would be so focused on that. I have arrest warrants for all of the asses right now. Right now. I have arrest warrants for all of them right now. Because somebody knows something. Everyone on that boat should have arrest warrants right now. And they should be interrogated in separate rooms, and I guarantee we'll be getting separate stories then. And I guarantee we'll get the truth then, because they all indicated that they were there when whatever happened to Nolan happened. And it was a girl who first said, can we cover it up? It was one of the two girls who first said, can we cover it up? For real. You can't save someone who don't want to be saved, bro. Y'all, I appreciate that. Y'all, thank you. But big face, you can't save someone who wants to be saved, man. We all go through that in our family, in our community. They gotta want it. You know, it's good that we want it for them, but they internally and externally have to want it for themselves, man. And it hurts. It hurts. I'm not gonna lie like it doesn't hurt. It hurts. It's some pain to deal with watching your loved ones go through it, but we can't do nothing about it till they decide to do something about it. You know, real talk, man. I got a cousin, I'm going, same thing, man. Hurts my heart, bro. Real talk. But what can we do? If we were able to do something, we wouldn't let, listen, if you were able to do something, your cousin wouldn't be going through it right now or been out there this long. If I was able to really do something, my cousin wouldn't be going through it and been out there this long. But it's not them. They're just a shell of themselves. The substances they are putting in their body is what's controlling their thought process now. You know, so it's the people we love is in there, but that's not the people we're approaching when we're approaching them about, hey, detox, get off the streets, let it go. Yeah, they not hearing that. We're talking to the demon.
For this first video, I'm sharing only approximately 37 seconds.
Okay, ignore this part because she gave her methodology and she only did 37 seconds. She said that it was too much for her to do because it was very heavy in her heart what she heard. I'll let you listen. And she said she'll do the other part later. We now have the other part that she did later. Okay, so yeah.
Of the call, I originally intended to continue much further, but once I separated the dispatcher from the boat and started concentrating exclusively on the background dialogue, what I believed I was hearing became extremely difficult for me to process emotionally, and I needed to take a mental break. But I wanted to release this portion because some of the details that stood out most to me occurred very early in the call, like right at the top of the call. And so I'm gonna let the audio play. Read my transcription if you want to reference, but don't allow it to determine what you hear. I want you to listen first, listen again, compare it with the original recording, and then judge it with your own ears.
Okay, so here is now the expanded version, not the 37 seconds. It's expanded.
Okay, so this is the new expanded version.
You listen to this through TMZ, through Officer Tatum, through everybody else. Keep in mind that not one person, not Bart, not Wyatt, not Warren, not one of these people, and also there's another person that I keep forgetting his name, but whatever. Not one of these people have disputed the validity of this recording.
There it is.
They keep saying, oh, well, we were panicking, but they are not disputing that the sounds we're hearing are actual sounds. Okay, let's keep going. Now, this is a full, not full, but it's 5 minutes now. Turn your volume up, and if you guys want, I can replay it, but turn your volume up, okay? Starting from the beginning.
Woo! I kind of feel like I want to leave y'all in suspense. Have y'all heard the new audio yet? Have y'all heard the new audio yet? Anyone heard the new extended audio yet? I'm waiting to see. Let's see who's engaged with the live. Let's see. Has anyone heard the extended version of this audio yet? Ah, look, y'all ain't with me. Y'all ain't with me. Y'all ain't with me.
Now, pause. Just to pose that with the video they showed us when they were on the line calling and all this panic and all this emotion. Did you see that from the beginning, the video that I showed in the beginning? Did you see anything that reflects that these sounds were coming from the same humans? I apologize for interrupting. Let's keep going.
Hey, we're at the west tip of Florida. Our village pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership. Shut the fuck up!
Damn it, Bart. I know you guys heard that. Bart, what were you doing on their boat being towed out when your boat was still there? What was doing? Why were you on the boat? Why was anybody saying damn it, Bart? I apologize. Hold on. I'll keep going.
What'd you say? Hey. It's coming up. We're just thinking. I don't know. Like we're going down now. I don't know the phone number. It's either. I think it's. Try that. I know we have a membership, like guaranteed. I don't have the tag on here. It got ripped off.
Somebody else for Warren. So we know Warren's on the boat. We know Bart's on the boat.
We know Wyatt's on the boat. We know Warren's on the boat. We know Bart's on the boat. We know Nolan was on that boat. We know some guy named Will or Wilson was on that boat. And we know it was 2 females on that boat. The only ones I cannot identify are the 2 females on that boat. But as far as the men, yeah, we need to be looking around for Will or Wilson. We need to be looking around for Will and or Wilson. Because right when she asked, do you know your GPS coordinates? And he was like, hold on, let me check. You will hear them in the background yelling for Will. And the way that they edited the video with Brandon Tatum, when he first interviewed Warren, he was like my buddy, and they edited, but you could hear "suh." We hear Will. The edit says "suh," Will's son, or William's son. But I'm believing the other guy's name is Wilson, and they're calling him Will for short. You'll see.
Reach me at 2.
They bleep out the phone number because it's.
Yeah, everybody's off the way. What?
Right there, it sounded like somebody yelled, Nolan.
Wyatt.
It's Wyatt.
We do not hit that.
Sounds like he said check his chest or
Check his
pulse,
chest.
in my opinion.
Let me go
You should hear Will. There it is. When you heard him say, "Let me go look," Vicky, the dispatcher, had asked him, did he know his GPS coordinates? If you hear him say, "Let me go look," listen to the background. You're going to hear him say, "Will." And then a few seconds later, you're going to hear, "Will, Will, Will." Watch this. It just happened. Watch this.
I don't know the phone number. It's either. I think it's.
Right after he says, "I don't know, let me go look," Vicky, the dispatcher, is asking him, "Do you know your GPS coordinates?" He's going to say, "I don't know, let me go look." At the moment he says that, start listening to the background. You're going to hear them say, "Will." Let's go.
Try that. I know we have a membership, like, guaranteed. I don't have the tag on here. It got ripped off.
Somebody else for Warren. So we know Warren's on the boat. We know Bart's on the boat.
Reach me at 2.
They bleep out the phone number because it's.
Yeah, everybody's off the way.
It was 2.
What?
Right there, it sounded like somebody yelled, Nolan. Now it's Wyatt.
We do not hit that.
Sounds like he said check his chest or check his pulse, in my opinion.
Let me go
Right here. Will. Will.
All right, you ready?
Don't come in here with misinformation. There was 5 guys on that boat and 2 women. We saw pictures of the damn boat being towed by Bart. We saw the guys and the damn girls. There was 2. There's 2 separate female voices in this audio alone. 2.
North, but 4672. Sorry, look. What do I need to send you? Yeah, what? No, we do not have to be here for here. Okay, my coordinates are 30 degrees by 14.684 north, and then west by 88 degrees by 46.
If we know, I'm trying to see your assumption of 1 female. We know it was 7 people on that boat. So you're trying to say it was 6 guys. You're trying to say it was 6 guys and 1 female. No. Now, in some instances, you only see 1 female on the boat. I know exactly what video you're talking about. But there's two different female voices in this audio right here distinctively. Two different female voices. That's how we know there was two females on that boat. 5 guys: Nolan, Warren, Wyatt, Bart, and Will. Whoever Will is. We just don't know who the 2 women are. But again, one of the females, were the first one that said in the first 30 seconds, can we cover it up? And then one of the guys responds saying, I thought about that too. Now, you can't tell people what they hear.
0.79. Yes, we were at Horn Island. Yes. If we were thinking, yes.
You lost if you going by Officer Tatum. You lost if you going by anything that race bait on Tatum. Listen, you probably don't even belong here, homie. If you follow race bait on Tatum, you're not gonna like me. You know, you're not gonna like me. I'm man enough to tell you. If you follow race bait on Tatum, right here is not where you want to be. I'm just being honest with you, brother.
No, we're not aground. We are in 17 foot of water. We're in 31 foot of water.
Now, he said we're in 17 foot of water. Oh no, we're in 31 foot. Bart's boat and their boat were docked differently. One was further away from the shoreline than the other. They didn't want anyone to know that Bart was there. But yet, if you're in 31 feet of water, the pictures we see, everyone was in the water. While you're making this phone call, it's... I don't understand it. I don't understand it, but let's go.
I want to get this boat unsank and towed back, yes. You can tow it to Ocean Springs or Port Bayou on.
I think that's Bart's place.
No, there's no tow.
Now, this part is important, okay? As we come up, let me just do a quick intermission because this part's actually important. I'll do a complete replay in a second where I'm just not talking at all, but I need to say this before I forget. On the original call, remember how they got in this passive-aggressive thing? Because she was like, are there any adults on board? And he acted like he didn't hear her. Like, huh? Then she was like, are there? And she's like, no, there's no. And she was like, are there any humans on board? And he was like, huh? And she was like, are there? He's like, no, there's no children. He did not want to say that there was nobody 21 or over on the boat. Bart is 21. Again, why are you trying to cover up the fact that Bart's on the boat? We already heard Bart's name. We heard them yelling at Bart. Also, somebody said, Maddie J said, they testified that they left Nolan on the island and others saw Nolan after they left. You're not making any sense. I will say this. I don't know if you're talking to Maddie J. I assume you're not talking to me. But even if you are, let's have discourse, right? They testified they left Nolan on the island and they did not hear about Nolan since. Then, now that new information has come out. Now Warren's saying, oh, well, no, I know 2 people that saw him on the island at 6 p.m. They are just making up stuff. Who are these 2 people? Do they?
And why didn't those 2 people already come out and say, hey, this is a lie, we saw Nolan? They're going to start snitching. They're going to start snitching. When they really figure out that they cannot beat this investigation and someone's going to have to do time for this, you know, they're going to start throwing each other under the bus. We'll get the true story then. We will get the true story then.
They have any proof? What are you talking about? And how out of having 300 or 400 people on the island can only 2 people notice? I think the only black boy that was on the island. Because Trayvon, I don't even know if he considers himself black.
Javon. And you had Tristan, Nolan. I think there were a few black people out there. I saw a few black people, not a lot. I ain't see too many raisins in a potato salad, but I saw some.
he you know that interview also. It's the last thing before we get back to the interview. You know another thing too. That
Can we get back to the audio, ma'am?
and for a rude awakening. I don't wish that on him, but I just
Audio. She talks a lot. Tisha Tells can talk, boy.
Compared with the original
Oh,
recording.
come on.
okay. Now let's go into the second part of this presentation. You guys are welcome. You got to listen to the audio without me interrupting. Do you guys feel good? I'm just joking. It's all love. All right. You guys ask. I will. If you ask nicely, I'm happy. Those come out to float stuff saying, "Hey, you know, everybody said Nolan was so drunk, unbelievably drunk. Really? Now Nolan was a town drunk, walking around, and it makes me feel like they are now going to try to soft launch some type of OD story, some type of accidental OD, maybe OD with alcohol, but something with the toxicology reports. I think that's what they're going to try to launch, and I think they're going to use that as an excuse. Hold on, I have
to the
reasons why I
audio.
think this. I think they're going to use that as an excuse for why.
Flight 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everybody here is over the age of 21.
That was a lie.
Hello? Yes, there's lots of people breathing on the boat. Flight 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And you heard someone count to 6, right? 7 people on a boat. Then you hear someone say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Everybody here is over the age of 21.
That was a lie.
Hello? Yes, there's lots of people breathing on the boat. Flight 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, we have life jackets available. A Triton, 22-foot offshore, 22-foot Triton offshore sea flight hull.
He doesn't sound like he's in a panic from an emergency. He don't sound like he's... No. It sounds like something else has his attention, but there's no urgency in his voice. There's no urgency there.
Okay, now let's go into the second part of this presentation. You guys are welcome. You got to listen to the audio without me interrupting. Do you guys feel good? I'm just joking. It's all love. All right. You guys ask. I will. If you ask nicely, I'm happy to accommodate. Right. But y'all know I get the yaps. So let's get into this. Right. I specifically heard them say somebody named Will. I have a flow chart that breaks down everybody that's supposed to be on the boat. I do not see somebody named Will. Now, there has been interesting theories that have been set forth, meaning that, and hear me out, TMZ is starting to release stories that seem like, to me, from someone that reads a bunch of PR, a bunch of spin. You guys cannot agree with my assessment. You cannot agree with the way I view things, but one thing that anybody who watches my channel knows, baby, I am very good at recognizing spin. Very, very good. And I'm very good at recognizing PR stuff launches. I think that's how my channel has grown so much. Mark my words, TMZ is already starting, now that this audio has come out, to float stuff saying, hey, you know, everybody said Nolan was so drunk, unbelievably drunk. Really? Now Nolan was a town drunk, walking around.
Y'all notice that she started to talk about Will, then she went left. So this is what Tisha does. Tisha get caught up yapping. She is a girl. She is in the right line of business. I actually wanted to hear what she was gonna say about Will. But it would take us forever to get there because this sister can yap, 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 yap. You know. So we know Bart Simpson has lawyered up, ladies and gentlemen. We know that all of Nolan's friends have lawyered up. I haven't, excuse me, I haven't heard of Katie retaining any counsel. But at this point, Katie's like the only one I trust. I don't trust any of them. I just hope when the truth comes out that we get the DA, we get the sheriff, we get the medical examiner, we get the governor, we get all of them. We get everyone who played a profound part in trying to cover this up. We get everyone, you know, who tried to exercise a white supremacist trait here. And you know, not trying to get the waters muddy when the water should be very muddy. What's good, Insatiable? How you doing? How you doing, my brother? I don't think I'm gonna be on too much longer. Y'all don't listen to all this rainfall out here. I'm getting sleepy. You know what I mean? It's been a long day. And y'all know this is why I don't mess with indica, but I done got hold of some indica, and the indica is putting me in the sofa. Let's see what she's gonna say about Bar here.
And it makes me feel like they are now going to try to soft launch some type of OD story, some type of accidental OD, maybe OD with alcohol, but something with the toxicology reports. I think that's what they're going to try to launch. And I think they're going to use that as an excuse. Hold on, I have reasons why I think this. I think they're going to use it as an excuse for why Warren's autopsy is going to come back with no water in his MFM lungs and no diatoms in his bone marrow. If you don't know what diatoms is, I did a whole live and a video about it. It's basically microscopic algae. When you drown, you have aspiration, right? When you drown, now you can get it from food going into your lungs.
Okay, yeah, she's getting to a little too much. Ladies and gentlemen, Insatiable brother, I'm sorry to be hopping off this as soon as you got on, but I've already been on for over an hour. I wasn't gonna make this a very long live, but I am gonna try to come back tonight. Oh, I did not just do that. Yes, I did. That proves I'm tired, ladies and gentlemen. That proves I'm very tired. I went to knocking things over. I went to knocking things over. That proves I'm very tired, man. I'm going to get me some sleep, y'all, because I've been up. Y'all know I'm an early bird, and I'm going to try to hop back on. This rain has got me, like, to where I can't even concentrate, y'all. I'm so sleepy, so y'all know what to do, man. Stay prayed up, stay blessed up, stay meditated up, stay protected, stay real, stay conscious, stay uncut. Be inspired, be great, be you. And Ashe.